Welcome, friends, to the Gaijin Animation Appreciation Hour with your hosts, Sig Bisley and Colt Mauser. Before we get started, please be sure to like this video and subscribe for more content just like this. Now, let the animation appreciation commence.
It's already that time of the week again. It's time to waste another hour with us.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's not a waste. It's the best hour you'll have this fucking week.
It's probably the best hour I'll have this week, but that's...
No, that's sad.
Anyway, episodes of the week, question of the week,
Yep.
and Riding Bean.
And the news.
As usual, the news.
And we'll talk about the Batman, too.
Yeah, I think we'll probably
watches.
have extra time.
Yeah.
If you recall, which you may or may not, when they did the animated Long Halloween, like the Batman, animated, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was an animated movie. Well, two animated movies.
Yeah. Anyway, we compared it to the comic, which was a good reason to reread the comic. So they had, like, the new Batman movie was basically based on a Long Halloween.
There was a lot of inspiration from it. Like,
Yeah.
the plot's not the same, but there's a lot of... Yeah,
We'll get into it for a minute. Yeah. Anyway, the news.
All right. The news. All right. Starting off, there's good news. Mob Psycho 100's coming back
Yay.
in October. Bones, the studio, obviously,
Yep.
is doing it.
Did they do the last one?
I don't know.
That'd be weird if they switched studios.
That happens all the time. Look at Attack on Titan. It's like 4 different studios.
Yeah, it's true.
Because they've had, like, Production IG. I think they've had Mappa.
That's always
like,
weird because, like, you never notice a style change.
I bet you if you watched it straight through,
Probably,
you notice it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because there's definitely some changes there. But, not a big deal. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Mob Psycho's coming back before One Punch. Tell you the truth.
One Punch has been gone forever. And it's like, it's so good. Just get it done.
Yeah,
I know the manga's really far ahead, too.
I'm a little surprised.
Or the web comic, or whatever the fuck it was.
Not that I'm...
I think it was both, actually.
Yeah, I mean, not that I'm crying about it, because Mob Psycho's great, too, so...
Yes.
I got no complaints
But
here.
I'm a little more starved for One Punch Man. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think it's been longer. Because they already did the... Actually, no, there's 2 seasons of both of them out, now that I mention it.
Yeah. Yep. Mob Psycho was 12... Yeah, they were both 12 apiece, right?
Yeah. One Punch was just kind of that slow season where, like, everything's happening and he's just, like, walking around, like, taking martial arts classes.
Yeah, he's sticking
like,
around
doing
the martial arts
nothing.
tournament, yeah.
And then he, like, comes out at the very end and just one punches that ridiculous fucking millipede thing or whatever.
He did get his ass kicked a lot in video games by King.
Yes. Too funny.
Yeah. It's like a comedy side story. It's fine.
There's been a lot of that going around.
Yeah. Anyway, October. More Mob Psycho. Definitely going to be cool. Got no complaints about that one. Although I don't know how the hell they're going to top the last season. The last season went fucking bananas at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. Will they Dragon Ball Z it and just, like, keep upping the ante forever?
So, anyway, moving on. So, Gundam. Got to talk about Gundam. Lots of Gundam stuff going on.
Yeah.
Gundam is probably bigger than it's been in a long time and maybe bigger than it's ever been.
I was
Like,
going to
it's
say,
really blown up.
like, I don't remember this much, like, Gundam news. You know, it's like every week.
Apparently only, they're 10% of the sales of Bandai Namco, and they're only exceeded by, like, Dragon Ball. And they don't...
That's really impressive, because Dragon Ball is, like, fucking immortal.
And they
You
probably
know,
make more money off of Gundam just because they fully own the rights to Gundam.
That's
it's their
true,
property,
yeah.
whereas Dragon Ball is not. Yeah, but anyway, Gundam, for the first time ever, is over 100 billion yen.
Wow.
Earnings in a year.
Pretty good.
So almost $800 million in a single year for the franchise. That's freaking crazy.
They
I mean, it
don't
makes
really-
sense with all the Gunpla they sold.
And they don't do anything bad, usually. Even, like, a mediocre series is not, like, unwatchable.
Even stuff if it's not your cup of tea, like Build Fighters. People love freaking Build Fighters, man. Like, people are into it.
Oh, people, like, super love Build Fighters.
Yeah,
Probably more than any other, like, Gundam.
Yeah, so I mean,
whatever.
they're smart. They're really
Listen,
goddamn
if you
smart.
want a fucking toy tie-in, Like, Build Fighters is it. It's just, like, one giant ad.
My only bitch about Build Fighters is it was clearly tying them up from doing other Gundam series in the interim. Like,
yeah, I've, like, no beef with Build Fighters. It's just it took up... They did, like, a million seasons.
because, they did Iron Blooded Orphans, and then not a damn thing till Witch of Mercury comes out, so... That's, you expect... I don't need one every year, but every couple of years, I'd at least hope to get some sort of alternate universe Gundam series. Those are always cool, because you, like... even if they're not good, like... It's a new take. I don't know. Like, I love that kind of stuff.
It's something, yeah.
And, I'm not in love with all of them. Like, 00 was pretty good, except for the stupid movie.
Metal Flower.
Stupid movie. I will never stop bitching about that. IBO was good except for the ending. It would be great with a sequel that...
Yeah, I'm fine with the ending as long as they
that.
have, like, the sequel where they're terrorists again. I mean, that sounds good, right?
Well...
Little Zeta action.
It would make actual sense, right? Like, yeah, okay, there was no way they were ever going to, like... Spoilers for IBO. There was no way they were ever going to be able to truly solve that problem. That's a little... it was a little more grounded than that politically in reality. Definitely. But they laid the groundwork. And they clearly were showing that at the end where kind of like, the next generation was going to probably be the one to be able to finally put it over the top. And, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that story, goddammit, with more cool mobile suits, with giant monkey arms.
So good. That was such a cool design.
Oh, yeah, the Barbados is awesome. One of the coolest designs they've ever done.
Pretty much anything with giant monkey arms is good.
Yeah, I even like the original Barbados design, but yeah, then it got crazy with the giant angry feet and the huge arms.
Right.
Like, had claws and angry feet.
I was just going to say that. Anyway.
But anyway, yeah, freaking Gundam's blowing up. So hopefully Witch of Mercury will be good. I'm curious. If it was a Western franchise, I'd be dubious about, oh no, there's like a female main pilot for the first time. Because, the message, but it's Japan, so I'm not even remotely worried about it. Nope. Not that they can't get infected, and they will eventually, but Bandai especially is not going to let anybody get within a million miles of Gundam and screw it up.
We're over the hump now. I don't think it'll spread.
Well, this is
the rest of the world hates it.
But this is also the smart thing. This is the thing I always had about Star Wars that Disney, if they were actually smart, would have done. And what Bandai does with Gundam, it's like you can take the aesthetic and the general idea and just have a lot of
literally anything.
Have a lot of alternate universe stuff, right? And people will like it. Although maybe the U.S. audience isn't prepared for that and they'll get confused. But people will like it. And then if someone does something really shitty and really stupid, it's self-contained. It's not related to the other stuff. You can just ignore it.
Well, fucking Star Wars is like, you have a whole universe. Like, you could do shit that's, like, completely out of that galaxy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I mean, if you wanted to keep it kind of out of canon or make it vague whether it's in canon or not, people could just ignore it. Like,
exactly.
Whatever.
It's schmott.
Japan, once again, smarter than Disney. Because everybody's smarter than Disney.
My senile grandmother is smarter than Disney.
Those birds chirping away in your goddamn wall are smarter than Disney.
Hey, not everybody has
wall birds. Yeah, you could have head pigeons.
Right.
Could be a problem. All right,
Listen,
so
I don't want to kick baby birds out. When they're grown, I will fix the hole.
So here's a new one. The Bikura Tamagos is a toy brand in Japan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they sell bath bombs with toys inside. This time they put a goddamn Gunpla inside, like an easy grade or first grade or whatever. That's Gunpla, funny. Entry grade, whatever they're called now.
Yeah.
Inside the bath bomb. I mean, I'm not sure I want to take clippers and stuff inside the bath. Sensitive things could get cut. But theoretically, you could indeed, I don't know, build Gunpla inside the bathtub.
Sure, why not?
That's what you were feeling.
I don't have a bathtub.
So I just bring that up because of I always appreciate the wacky tie-ins and merchandising.
They are the absolute best at merchandising.
I mean, they took the wacky shit you used to see in the 80s and 90s here and just to the nth degree. Like, the nth degree.
I kind of miss that stuff. Does McDonald's even, like, I go on about this all the time. I'm sure I mentioned it before. It used to be like McDonald's did, like, a thing for everything.
Yeah.
It'd be like, you'd get, like, a cup or something. Not that I've been to a McDonald's in, like, fucking 15 years, but still.
I haven't seen anything forever. And I'm like, once every month or two, I'll at least stop there and get like coffee in the morning or something.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, you used to like drive by it and there'd be like on the sign.
Or McGriddles. I don't care what McDonald's does. McGriddles is still bomb.
McGriddles. I still like their fries.
Man, when you put sausage, egg, and cheese inside of 2 tiny pancake, like
It's not a bad idea.
maple syrup flavored pancake things, you did something right.
It's true.
But yeah, you're right. I haven't. I still have like a set of original Batman movie cups that I think were from like Burger King.
Yeah, right.
With glasses.
That's what I mean. Like, there used to be tons of that crap.
Tons of that shit. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
The last thing I remember was Lord of the Rings. They had like Lord of the Rings.
Though they were certainly doing toys up till at least 10 years ago. I remember that. They used to have Transformers, like not actual ones.
They must have did Marvel shit.
Yeah, they definitely had tie-in cups and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But they were just plastic cups. Like I don't know.
I just remember it was like
I don't know
next
that they've done
day,
anything like really cool.
Whenever
in a long
big
time.
movie came out, it was like bam, bam, bam.
I remember it was one place. I remember buying like the Indiana Jones movies on VHS for like $5 a pop from like Burger King or something or
Yeah,
McDonald's. Like
I
they
do
had a
remember
tie-in when Last Crusade came out. No, it was Young Indiana Jones Chronicles came out. So it was the earlier mid 90s. But
That was an actually decent show.
it was.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Another way you could actually properly handle Indiana Jones instead of the, butt fun they're having with him now.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch an episode of South Park because it's pretty spot on.
Yep. I just stop franchises at the last movie that was good, and then I ignore everything else.
So,
So basically, Last Crusade. That was the last movie.
apparently some random assholes decided that they are the authority on, inducting video games into some kind of Hall of Fame.
Okay.
It's like, okay.
I didn't even know there was a Hall
Maybe
of
they're
Fame.
cool dudes. I don't know. I don't know them. But just this year, they inducted Zelda Ocarina of Time and Miss Pac-Man. I'm sorry. If you are a organization that claims to be like the Video Game Hall of Fame and you've been around for years and those 2 games aren't already in your Hall of Fame, you fucked up. You already fucked up. Like, are you
Ocarina
drunk?
of Time isn't even that old, is it?
Animal Crossing made it in before Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is, 90...
Oh, it's that old?
98?
Fair enough.
90. I remember buying it at like EB in the mall.
Wow.
I was sad I didn't get the gold cart.
Right.
I didn't pre-order it soon enough. I want to say it was 98, maybe 99.
Yeah, no, I thought it was like 2000s, but I guess that was.
No, it was around the time of it was the N64, and it didn't come out with the N64. It was a little bit later.
I just feel like if you're gonna have like a video game Hall of Fame, there's like, 20 years of video games before even that. You know what I mean?
Well, but why are you inducting Animal Crossing before that, which is a newer game and not as popular? Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man almost offends me more. Like, Miss Pac-Man is legendary. That should have been the first year.
Yeah, I know, like Pac-Man.
So they started in 2015. 2015, Pong, fair. Regular Pac-Man, fair. Tetris, fair. Super Mario, Doom, and World of Warcraft? I mean, World of Warcraft deserves to be in there, don't get me wrong, but it seems weird for, first year. Yeah, Oregon Trail, hilarious. 1971, what? Oregon Trail was that old? Madness.
Those are like the first video game, basically.
Punch cards? Jesus Christ, it's like Pong levels.
That's
There's no way it was before Pong. Get out of here. That's got to be a typo. It's got to be 1981. Halo made it in before. Pokemon Red and Green? Red and Green? Red and Blue? These people are idiots.
These people are maniacs.
let's just leave it at that.
I think like 1,000.
Maybe
video
they're
games.
cool dudes. So sorry out there if you are the strong. Maybe you're cool dudes, but get your shit together, will you?
Yeah. Your Hall of Fame sucks.
Your Hall of Fame, yeah, like get your shit together. Like you should just start out and immediately like, all right, these games are off the list. Like they're obviously already in here.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I'll stop whining now.
I just feel like getting to anything that new when you haven't done all the classics yet is kind of silly. Like Warcraft, like get out of here.
Yeah. All right, so I got news. Exciting news. It's not exciting news.
Boo.
They now have a new director, Riz Thomas. Riz Thomas apparently did some Hawkeye.
Sure.
Maybe he did the stupid show, which is why the hell would you give him any work after that? To direct the live-action Robotech film.
Boo.
Boo, indeed.
You said the 2 words I don't want to hear. Live action.
I would love for Robotech to actually be, well, Macross, but I would love for Macross to actually be a thing. And I wouldn't even mind that they rebranded it and renamed it as Robotech over here because I get it, right? Like, no problem. Especially if you just stick to the saga. Like, it's a good story. You could adapt it well. It would have to be more than one movie or a series. And could they afford it? I don't know, man. Really damn expensive still.
Honestly, I watched it back-to-back, like, probably 10 years ago. Like, when the box
There's not a
sets
lot of
came
difference.
out. There's not really as much
not in the
difference
Macross
as
saga.
people
After
say,
that, it gets... Like, most Piata is a lot better than the third
Oh, yeah, definitely.
thing of... And, well, Southern Cross? So when I mentioned Cavalry, Southern Cross. It's just weird. It's a weird show. It's just a weird show.
I didn't watch any of that shit when I was a kid. I watched the original, and then that was it.
The original is so much better.
Yeah, I didn't watch, like,
I
the
can't blame them for
second,
doing,
third
adapting some
season,
other stuff.
whatever.
Most Piata is the weird one. Well, it is what it is. And I mean, I get it because it's got the transforming stuff, but I mean, it's not even a Super Dimension series.
No, it's not. Not at all. It's just crazy motorcycle armor.
I'm surprised they didn't do Orgus instead. But Orgus is kind of weird, so.
Orgus is weird.
Orgus is weird.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Live action Macross, something I would have been maybe slightly excited about 10 years ago. I am terrified of now. But it'll never happen, so
That's
I'm not
like
too
a
worried about
monkey's paw thing where it's like, yeah, man, I hope in like 20 years I can get a Robotech movie, and now you're just like, oh God, please
Don't touch it.
butcher another
Don't
thing I
do it.
used
It's
to
like, I really want like Warhammer live action. It's like, like
just wait.
I'm just
wait a
clenching
couple
my
years.
butthole,
Yeah,
like-
just wait a couple years.
like for the love of God, don't fuck it up.
Henry Cavill, save me.
Yeah, Henry Cavill, save us all, please. All right, so lastly, we can talk about this for a while because you were just mentioning it earlier today. Netflix is circling the drain completely, and now you're seeing signs that
Worse than I ever could have thought.
They are, and you kind of knew it was going to happen 4 or 5 years ago when they threw so much money into production. It was like
it was like
there's
$8 billion or something.
there's no
like,
way you're going to make this back.
who even lent you that money?
Yeah, there's no way you're going to make this back. And shorting the stocks. Now what they're going to do is, and you probably know about this already, but they're doing a low-cost tier with ads.
I fucking hate ads more than I hate anything.
Everybody hates ads. Nobody wants ads. Who gets Hulu with ads? If you're out there and you get Hulu with ads, shame on you. You got to send them the message. No ads.
It's like shit my sister would do.
No ads. Like, look, you want to have an ad at like the bottom of the screen while you're scrolling through trying to pick something to watch. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, because I'm not stuck with it.
Knock yourself out. But no ads in the middle. No. Absolutely not.
Listen, TV's dead. Let's keep it dead.
I'm
Like,
already
the old model.
It's
is
the same
dead.
thing that happened to cable. Like when cable first came out, it was like, yeah, no ads because you're paying for it. And then it was like, ha ha ha, fools! You pay for it and you get ads.
Not only do you have to pay money, but now we can fucking put like 5 times as many.
So
ads.
this is the same shit again. Like guys, I've seen this story before. I don't need to see it again.
Every fucking time. They cannot resist.
So between the hey, we're gonna crack down on people using accounts, which they were encouraging people to use other people's accounts back in like 2017 when they were high on the hog. Between their shows crashing and burning all over the place,
Their stock just dropped like 75%.
between the stock drop, between them, canceling a ton of shows and just buying more anime, which honestly you should have never greenlit a lot of shows and just bought more anime to begin with. I mean, that's obvious. Buy the ready-made shit. It's like buying all the Korean stuff was smart. Like, yes,
Oh, it's the only thing that's
it's
floating
ready-made.
now.
It's good. It's fine. I mean, I get that they didn't do it because they'd been buying Indian stuff and some other stuff that did not do as well. But
Indian stuff gets weird, man.
get people to understand quality of things better, right? So when you buy this stuff, it's like, hey, wait a minute, this is actually
Most
good.
of the Korean ones have been pretty good.
They've
At
been
least-
pretty damn
at least
good.
watchable. You know what I mean?
Obviously, something is going on in the Korean film industry that's driving good stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I've had no beef with any of them.
No, some of them may not like what the hell was that one?
Hellbound?
Hellbound was a little weird.
It wasn't a little weird. It was a lot.
That was a lot weird. And it was it was paced all screwed up. But it was still cool. It was still a cool idea.
I have like I probably said this when we went over Hellbound. I know we did on one
We did.
episode. Like, it's so hard watching, like, movies with no guns. Because it's always weird. It's just like, I would handle everything in a very traditional American style.
Yeah.
And to watch people, like, wringing their hands and clutching their pearls.
I think that
like,
was...
oh, God, what are we going to do? Like,
even worse than the
I'll pull out
zombie
my
one.
jammy. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it was even worse than like, All of Us Are Dead or whatever.
Oh, yeah, the
like,
zombie one's like, nobody has a fucking gun. Like,
and, never finished that, but that's more because I'm so burnt out on zombie stuff. Like, even Train to Busan, it was like, okay, this is excellent, but I don't need more zombie stuff.
Yeah, no, like, still to this day I'm burnt out.
But that show was good. That show was a very good, execution of a zombie show. It's just...
Yeah, it's kind of played out. It's like vampires,
very
too.
played out.
Like, until, what the fuck was the one with the Strigoi? What was it called?
Oh, hell yeah. The Strain.
The Strain, yeah. Like,
Excellent show.
Until The Strain, I didn't want to, like, fucking touch vampires.
A little rushed at the end because they got cut. I think they wanted one more season. Or 2 more seasons. They only got 1 or what. They got the chance to finish it. The narrative is fine. It works, but it does. You can definitely tell they had to accelerate a little bit at the end.
Yeah.
Stuff where like characters do some things where you're like, this has to happen for the plot, but this doesn't make it wasn't really earned.
Exactly.
But it would have been if there were more episodes and they could have fleshed it out. So it's still excellent.
Very good though.
Definitely watchable.
I just love their vampire lore. Because it's like wicked.
I like in the first episode. Yeah, it's wicked old school. I love in the first episode the rock star is turned into a vampire. Instead of being like sexy vampire guy, his dick falls off into the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah, they completely desexualize vampires, which is...
Completely. They're just monstrous parasites.
Yeah, they're just awful ghouls, and it's awesome.
As it should be.
No sparkles anywhere.
No. Although, we'll talk about Robert Pattinson later.
We'll talk about sparkles later.
We'll talk about Sparkle Man later. He did a good job. Anyway, speaking of vampires, speaking of the undead... Well, I don't know if Netflix is undead. They're just the dead because they're circling.
They're a walking corpse.
Now, Netflix is not just going to go away, right? Like, let's be clear here.
Nah, somebody will buy them and just restart it.
It'll circle the drain enough.
Things
Someone will
don't
buy
disappear
it,
anymore.
or it'll consolidate with. It's just this is going to keep happening, right? Like Hulu, I'm surprised even still exists. Like the content on Hulu is going to be streaming somewhere. I'm surprised Hulu even exists. Like
when Disney first acquired it, they're like, we're losing money on it. Like, it loses the millions of dollars, like, every day.
I know there's some reason, the licensing or something, where they can't combine it with Disney Plus, but you really should just actually smush it together. People don't want a package where I have to go to 2 different apps. They just want it to all be in the same thing.
Yes, like, literally.
And maybe if you combined it, people would actually get Disney Plus. Because ain't shit on Disney Plus, and your original shows are woke and trash.
If you guys have Hulu Live TV... which I only get during football season, they literally jacked up the price $5 and forced you to get Disney Plus, like just to drive like the fucking numbers up.
Because they were also doing that sneaky thing where like Verizon customers got it for free.
Yeah.
Right? They've been doing a lot of sneaky stuff since the beginning.
Sneaky fucking thing to like make investors think.
Whereas
that
HBO Max
like it.
is doing fairly well. Now it's got its own problems with some bad writing on some shows and other stuff, but it's been more up and down, and it's had some ups, and
way more ups than
now
downs.
that Zaslav's in charge, Discovery Plus, once he's done gutting CNN and making it a respectable news organization again,
he is here to slay.
he's probably gonna fix the remaining lingering issues with HBO Max, which isn't a ton, honestly. Like that's the streaming service I definitely go to first for damn near everything.
I'm curious to see how that Game of Thrones series goes. I'm not gonna watch it, but I just I'm wicked curious to see if there's any interest left.
I bet you it will be very good, but no one will be interested as interested as they should be because the show ended so poorly. No one cares.
People have kind of checked out on a lot of stuff. Like, not a lot of stuff makes money.
It also didn't come out soon enough.
Yeah, it took forever.
If the show ended bad, it needed to come out sooner. Like, if the show ended epic and everybody loved it, people would be excited. Ooh, it's coming back. But look how often this happens, like Dexter coming back. I mean, granted, that's continuing the same story, different situation, but...
Dexter was based on, a 3-book series or something. And, they
ran out of ideas.
Yeah, in, the first season.
Honestly, Game of Thrones, they really should just pretend the last season, maybe the last 2 seasons, didn't exist, and just do it again. Hire better writers, do it again. George R. R. Martin ain't ever going to write it.
He's really not.
Nope.
Which I kind of find fascinating.
I go back to my idea from the other day. I still would rather just see someone do a good animated or live action. I want to see a good Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring,
That
Demon Souls,
style
whatever
is
series.
such a waste. Like
Yep.
not using it for something.
Yeah, I mean, it's used in games, which is great, but like, yeah, you should be using it, especially in Japan. Like, you should have an anime and something else or a different story. I don't care with, Miyazaki, Hidetaka Miyazaki, and some of the other creators. Like, make it happen. Like,
Get it together,
that's what you really need.
Japan.
Hey, Netflix, if you had any money left, that's what you could do. If you didn't keep like sidelining Henry Cavill in his own goddamn show, maybe more people would care.
It's very true. That season of The Witcher wasn't awful, but it wasn't good either.
No, it was forgettable.
Yeah, it really was.
Cavill was awesome.
I barely even remember what happened.
The best part of the entire thing is always Cavill. Fuck everybody else. The show is called The Witcher.
They do that with everything. Everything's the bait and switch.
Not strong
now, like,
woman in the vicinity of The Witcher.
They do that with everything now. Everything, they just like tell you it's about your favorite character, and then it's
Bait and
about
switch, man.
like some chick that has nothing to do with anything.
Let's make Boba Fett a big pussy.
Everybody loves that, right?
Jesus Christ. Like, the man who had to get warned by Darth Vader to not disintegrate people, Darth fucking Vader.
Yeah, like when Darth Vader has to like
Is a baby.
chastise you for your fucking bad behavior,
And not like, whatever. Why the fuck would he even want to be a crime lord? He would have...
The entire premise of the show is so amazingly stupid.
It's dumb. Just use a different character and have Boba Fett also be in it as like his muscle, right? Like his murder machine. You have some, you could have a new character, or you could pick a character out of the EU. There's so many freaking characters they cast aside.
It's like we were talking about before. Everything's member berries now. Like 100%.
They should have gone.
Just like make up a new character. You could do it. You guys.
I can't
like,
remember the
impossible.
character's name, but they should have picked. It was a guy from the Timothy Zahn trilogy, which is way better than the actual sequel trilogy they made. They should have picked a character from that.
Yeah.
And it was there was the Black Sun or whatever. There was obviously one of the criminal elements was big, as the Empire wasn't around to kind of tamp down on Twilight
Power
Sun,
vacuum.
Regardless, I can't remember. I read those things I gotta reread those. They're actually pretty good, even though I'm disinterested in Star Wars now. Those are really good. Pick that character, put him in there, have him be the crime lord, and have Boba Fett be the muscle. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, Jesus Christ, people.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, Fruity Vespas for everyone.
And that design was terrible. You can just tell it's not made by people who care.
Listen, Fruity Vespas for some, Fat Lazy Boba Fett for others.
And that style of Boba Fett would be fine, but you have to do a completely different type of show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could do like old retired Boba Fett, which I think they were kind of trying to do, but they didn't do a very good job of it.
If you wanted to bring that guy, never have him take his goddamn mask off. So just have somebody else in the goddamn suit and have him do the voice.
They're so obsessed with like
Great.
taking masks off when they shouldn't. You know who doesn't take his mask off? Carl fucking Urban. That's who doesn't take his mask off.
Either find an actor that doesn't care, or you hire somebody who just does suit work, and you hire the real actor to do the voice work.
Listen, Carl Urban will like hurt.
So simple.
He'll like hurt himself frowning just to be legit.
You ready? You look ready.
That was so good.
Dread. Such a good movie.
That movie's criminally underrated.
Anyway, we've gone down this tangent long enough. With that, the news is over.
News is over. I finally caught up on The Executioner Way of Life, and it was worth it. I am up to 7. I think it was 7 episodes out.
Yep.
Like, the story is pretty... Like, it has that really good first episode, and then it's kind of like plain Jane for a few episodes. Like, nothing unexpected. It's
I know what you mean.
There are 0 male characters in it. It has like a little Yuri feel, which I'm fine with.
I no complaints about that, man. That's old school. That's good.
Exactly. There's a lot of new stuff
Listen,
that's got like kind of old school
Normally
vibes.
you hear like lesbians on TV. And oh, God, not this crap again. Oh, it's an anime? Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
They've been doing that fine
Well, it's
forever.
got the like the main character chick has Railgun.
Yes.
Like that.
Oh, yeah, that's
that
got that
chick
kind of
that's
feel.
like always on her job.
Oh,
all the
God,
time.
the teleporter.
The teleporter chick. It's got that
Who's
same
secretly
thing.
the most powerful character around that isn't freaking Toma.
Yeah, right. Like she's so low key overpowered.
I think she's like 2 ranks below or something. Like, not even, but you know what I mean? She's not even like S class or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like below,
Which seems
B, A or B,
ridiculous.
which is
Because she could just like pop all over the
someone's
place.
dumb because
Your ranking
that
system
power
is
is
terrible.
once you can teleport other things in it, like, never mind.
At any rate, it's that kind of thing where there's like the main character, and then she's got like an apprentice whose life she saved, or classic trope number 27.
Yep.
And then like
That's a good Yuri setup.
The chick that she's supposed to be killing, that she ends up kind of saving, blah blah blah.
It's another nice Yuri setup. So it's a Yuri harem show. Got you.
More or less, yeah. But like episode 6 or something, they introduce like there's been time shenanigans the whole time. And it blows your mind, which is good. Like it spices the whole thing up
it's a nice
and
twist.
like renews my interest. So that's been really good. Recommended. I caught up on Amaim, which is basically just the second half of the first season. They're not calling it the second season.
Yeah. Sunrise does that a lot. They'll just do.
They did that with the 86 too. It's just like the second half.
They'll release
of
12 or
season
13 episodes, and then they'll just release the rest.
Amaim is like such a classic Sunrise show, like mecha show. It's like great because like
I really got to catch up.
It's got like all the classic tropes. Like at the end of the first part, like a character dies, and then they skip like between episode 13 and 14, they skip ahead like 8 months, and then like they're trying to like soldier on without him, like the classic thing, and then they're getting their asses kicked. And he just like ended that like last 3 minutes of the episode, he just like busts out and like cuts everybody in half. It's like fucking great. I don't care how many times I see it. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah, man. I too have woken up on a bed and get her base on the moon.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so definitely good still. The hell else? Shield Hero.
Yeah, we watched Shield Hero.
I'm not like blown away by this season.
This season is it's not. It doesn't have the same feel at all.
Nah, it does. It's kind of mediocre.
It
feels kind of tacked on.
It's very mediocre. It's almost like a side story that doesn't need to exist.
I'm not really looking forward to episodes. Like usually, like I'll get to that part of the week, I'll be like, oh yeah, there's a new whatever out. But
it's like when Demon Slayer's on. It's like, is it out? Is it out?
Yeah, exactly. Like counting
the
fucking minutes. Like I need to see it now. This, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, I was looking forward to coming back so bad. And
was there a new episode of
The first season had some zazz. This one just does not.
I don't know.
I think
it's a perfectly cromulent story.
I think there is a new episode of. I know where you were going.
Yeah.
A new episode of De Noitis.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Legend of Galactic Heroes, but yeah, we haven't watched it yet. That's okay. I like to let a couple of those build up and then watch them because there's going to be a trillion episodes. I mean,
yeah, and their shenanigans take time. So a lot of times it's like a 2-episode block of stuff.
Yeah, or it's like they're skipping to it completely because you have stuff going on because now they added Pheasant back, so it's like you have the Free Planets Alliance stuff that's going on, and they could follow different characters there. You have the Empire stuff going on, and again they could follow different characters there, and then you got the Pheasant stuff now. So it's like,
yeah, it's like the classic 3-way space opera.
It's very
Gundam-y.
It's very Game of Thrones in that regard. Like in that, like there's a billion characters, they all have point of view stuff. It's bouncing all over the place, like
yes,
and it's good. It's all coming together, and it's it'll be awesome. But
I think they do a way better job out of the Game of Thrones.
It doesn't drive you to be like, oh my god, I gotta see what happens, because it's not like whatever happened in the last episode already happened, and now they're gonna go somewhere else anyway. So you still want to watch it, and I'm still stoked to watch it. Just I don't mind letting it build up a little bit. I suppose
it's not like that shonen formula where they leave you hanging.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, exactly. It's not Demon Slayer where it's like, how dare you end this episode?
I need it now. Anyway, what else was there? I think
Executioner, Way of Life, Shield Hero. Did you watch any more Black Rock Shooter?
Oh, no, I completely forgot about that. I mean,
sounds weird as fuck, so.
The original was weird as fuck. Listen, when you let, like, AI nanites take over the world, you got problems.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like something you should do.
Yeah, no, that's the thing I forgot to watch. Hit it next week.
Yeah. All right. So, let's do it. It's the last thing we watched, last thing to talk about. The Batman.
Yeah, let's do it.
The Batman. So, one, it's too long. It's too long. Like, very few movies can get away with being 3 hours long and being good still. It's too long.
Well, the problem was
it doesn't need its whole last 45 minutes.
Yes. And we'll explain why. Basically, The character Batman in this one is basically Batman year 1, like year 2.
Yeah, Long Halloween.
Yeah.
Same idea.
But like they based the plot basically on the Long Halloween. Like the whole
heavily inspired for sure.
Yeah, there's just like a serial killer.
I mean, there's no Harvey Dent. The serial killer is the Riddler.
For no reason.
Yeah, there's no like, who is it? It's like, no, it's the Riddler. He's weird and kind of Saw-like.
That, and they gave him kind of like a Unabomber vibe. Like
they did.
They made him too Joker.
The Riddler needs to be. They did. It seems like
they just like the Joker's edgy and everybody likes it. Let's do that with every villain.
Yeah, it's not the Riddler, which is a shame because it's one of the only times they've gotten the Penguin right. Like,
yeah,
no, the Penguin's not some weird Penguin man. The Penguin is just a mobster, people.
Yeah, Tim Burton. Like, stop being weird.
Oh, Batman Returns is just a shit show of weirdness.
I kind of like Danny DeVito as the weird.
It's great, but it's not. That's not the best. I don't know what the hell's going on in that.
I have a special place in my heart for those movies. At any rate. So the Long Halloween part, they basically wrapped it up in 2 hours.
Yeah,
and it was like,
and the whole plot's basically done. You know, Carmine Falcone is gone because you got Carmine Falcone played by John Turturro, the Jesus, which is a strange but actually really good casting choice.
Like he really nailed it.
Colin Farrell is the Penguin, and you can't even tell it's Colin Farrell.
I don't even believe it. I still don't believe it. It looks nothing like him. It sounds nothing like him.
I know.
Like, I don't know if they just CG'd a new face over his.
It's bizarre.
It's fucking weird.
The Penguin is awesome in it, though. Like,
oh, yeah. No, that's like one of the better Penguins.
Catwoman's fine. Perfect.
Yeah, for all her running of the mouth before it came out, like, I thought she did a good job.
She did a really good job. And
there was that.
Let me be clear.
There was that one cringy line about like.
Oh, that line was so bad.
About like
the privilege line.
About like white privilege or something.
But it was funny because you're saying it to Batman, not realizing, you know.
Yeah, he's the richest guy in the city.
Like, we're gonna stop these evil rich white men. Like, do. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But Zoe Kravitz was good, and she dropped weight to like really like.
She's very lithe.
Because Zoe Kravitz is never not. She's not even chubby. Like, but she got like.
Yeah, like thin.
Like thin for this to it was almost too much, but it made sense to be Catwoman, right?
Yeah.
So she really, I mean,
and it's classic cat burglar.
I'm saying like
Catwoman.
I appreciate that. That's very Christian Bale of her, right? Like she put in the work really to do that part.
But it was that part of it was like. It's as good a Batman movie as you're gonna make. It was very like animated series style, like detective noir.
Pattinson's Batman is awesome.
He says nothing, and it's great.
His Bruce Wayne is. I don't think he plays Bruce Wayne bad because it's a younger Bruce Wayne. It's okay. The look is just stupid, but that's not his fault. He didn't do that. That's the director.
It's just like sloppy,
sloppy emo look. I don't.
Yeah,
that was just dumb. I don't know why they did that. Freaking Andy Serkis Alfred is interesting.
Yeah,
he does a good job, but it's an interesting choice.
Yeah, he's like too beefy for that. Like he's too menacing.
He's too stout. Yeah, right. He is like, too menacing.
You look way too menacing to be like the kind-hearted butler.
Michael Caine was almost a little too menacing too for that.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
You know,
you need like a guy with like white hair. It's kind of like
It's one thing. The older movies definitely got closer to what I would consider good Alfred. Even like the crappier ones.
Yeah, it's true.
Even Jeremy Irons was a good one in the Batfleck related ones. He did a good job. Although he's always sinister as hell, so I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, it's a lot of detective stuff. So it's Batman the Detective, which they haven't done in any of the movies really.
And that's my favorite Batman. It had like the whole classic noir feel.
But he'll still kick your ass. But he's not perfect yet, right? Like he's not. He's still young and a little bit inexperienced.
If the bat suit was not bulletproof, he would be dead a lot of times.
Yes, and he's getting punched a lot, and it's not that he
gets knocked out a couple times.
It's just no one should be able to fight like 8 guys at once, but he's not at that Batman stage yet where like he can fight 8 guys at once and nothing happens.
Yeah, where he's like a juggernaut.
Yeah.
But anyway, until you get like they basically finish up the long Halloween part at like 2 hours.
The last thing I would feel ashamed about him. Jeffrey Wright is an excellent Gordon.
Oh yeah,
it's a race swap Gordon. I don't care. He's an excellent Gordon.
It doesn't bother me because he's really good.
He's really good. Jeffrey Wright, man, that guy can do no wrong.
Yes.
Well, at least acting wise, I have no idea anything else about him, but acting wise, he's top notch.
I've never heard anything about him, so I'm gonna assume he just shuts up and does his thing.
I hope so.
Which is all I could ever want out of an actor.
Very excellent in Shaft back in the day.
Yes.
And in the Bond movies for his little parts.
Oh yeah,
Like Casino Royale and stuff.
Leiter, yeah.
And then he's kind of making a career out of playing race swap characters. It's interesting. And then the first season of Westworld, the only season of Westworld. God damn it, he's excellent in that. Right. Excellent in that.
Yeah.
Excellent season. Anthony Hopkins. Oh God, that first season of Westworld is so good, and the rest of it's such trash. Anyway, moving on.
But anyway, as I said before, they finish up that stuff like after like 2 hours. So you're like,
yeah, the whole Riddler arc.
They caught the Riddler. It's done. Like, you know, exactly like the comic. And then they tack on like 45 minutes of this weird, like the Riddler had this crazy plan to like make like.
That's when it's like a full Joker plan.
Yeah, it's like this army of Riddlers that are gonna like shoot politicians. It's just like
okay,
really stupid.
This is spoilers, but whatever. He's going to apparently this Gotham is slightly below sea level, like it's New Orleans or some shit. And there's a seawall.
There's like seawalls.
So he's gonna blow up the seawalls and flood the city, such that everyone will gather, a ton of people will gather in like the Madison Square Garden equivalent, like Gotham Square Garden, right?
Yeah.
And then there's
Gotham Cube Gardens.
There's people dressed up like the Riddler with guns in the rafters to shoot the politicians and everybody else who's in there. It's not a good plan.
No, it's like a weird plan.
It's really dumb.
It's like that's like a Cobra Commander plan,
right? Like
it's really corny, and it
not
just
the right kind of corny though.
Yeah, it makes the movie drag, and it's completely fucking pointless.
Yeah, that whole last bit is completely.
I have no idea why they even.
And they could have done some of that and got the point across, because I get like they wanted to show that Batman now is becoming more than just, you know, a terror for criminals. He's also becoming a symbol of hope for people.
Yeah.
You could have worked that in throughout the movie and done a little bit at the end. Like, there's other ways you could have done that. Like, you did not need this decadent extra hour of movie, 45 minutes or whatever, that's completely effing pointless. Like, it's a good movie that could have been a great movie, and that always irks me the most.
That's exactly how I felt about it. Like, it was really good, but it could have been great if they had just, like, cut that last part.
And it makes it way less rewatchable, because one, it's not as good, and two, it's too fucking long.
Yeah, I rarely watch a 3. Like, how often are we sitting around on a Friday? It's like, oh, let's put it, like, throw on a movie. You never pick something that's 3 hours because you're just going to fall asleep.
The only movies 3 hours plus that ever get watched are
Lord of the Rings.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy, once a year, and Red Cliff.
Yeah,
which is like
once
5 hours or something.
Once every few years.
Yeah, which is awesome. But yeah, it's long as hell. But that movie, I don't mind it. I just get lost in that movie. Same thing with Lord of the Rings. Like Red Cliff, you kind of just get lost in the movie, and it's great. It's so just good. So entertaining. This, you don't get lost in it. It's not that good that you can just get lost in it. So, yeah. A good movie that could have been great.
Yeah. I figured it since we went on and on about the long Halloween.
I will still highly recommend you watch it, especially while it's on HBO Max full free. Well, you got to pay HBO Max.
It's the only reason I watched it.
I'm sure you can find it elsewhere, but I mean, HBO Max is the best service. Pay for it for a month or get a month trial. Watch that. Watch Chernobyl. Watch the first season of Westworld.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Oh, they did. What's the one with the annoying little girl? Fucking polar bears.
Nobody's on there right now. Watch that. Oh, Golden Compass is decent on there. Yeah, watch the 2 seasons.
That is like a way better adaptation of Golden Compass. I was not hot on those books as much as other people were.
The series still carries over a lot of the problems the books had, but it cleaned up some of them too.
Yeah, he's very ham-handed with his his insane hatred of churches.
Yeah. Organized religion.
In the book, he just beats you over the organized religion. He just beats you over the fucking head with it. This they tone that way the fuck down. You know what I mean? So
because you don't
way more watchable.
You're not gonna beat people over the head with it. It's clear the organization, the church organization here is evil, and what they're doing is evil. Like they don't need to be killing children in front of me to know that. Like it's obvious that they're awful.
That guy's a way shittier writer than everybody says he is.
Yeah. Well.
Regardless, that's on there, and they're probably going to keep doing it because I think they're only at the end of the second book.
They just finished the second book. Yeah.
I don't think I ever even read the last book, so we're in foreign territory.
It's just going to get wild. Anyway, that's on there too. My point is, there's actually a lot of decent stuff on HBO Max, so Is Venture on there now? No, Venture's not. A lot of the other Adult Swim stuff is. Regardless, get it, check it out, and then get rid of it if you don't like it.
There's a lot of shit on Paramount. I think it's Paramount Plus.
I don't even know anymore. All right.
No, but that's where a lot of the Adult Swim ended up shit. Oh no, South Park's on there sometimes. I have no idea how.
Yeah, but South Park's also on HBO Max.
Yeah,
so.
it's weird.
I don't even understand anymore.
New South Park isn't funny enough to
Yeah,
it's not funny enough for me to track down.
They're way too toned down now. It took longer than most shows, but they finally just it's just. And the other problem is, most modern things that happen, there's already an episode of South Park and go back to and go, wow, they really predicted that. So what do they do now? You can't just do it again. You already did it.
The political climate is too retarded to even satirize anymore.
That's the other problem.
So it's I totally feel for it.
So they don't even know what to do with it. It's just
And they got paid $900 million to keep doing it or some ridiculous amount of money.
That was just to do the stuff on Paramount Plus.
That's what I mean. So even though you can't.
But I don't think that's all South Park either. That's South Park and they get to do some of their own stuff too.
Yeah.
Basketball too. Who knows what the hell
Yeah. I hope they do more fucking.
The Ghost of Dale Earnhardt.
Puppets.
Oh, Team America?
Yes, Team America.
Oh, Team America might be back, unfortunately.
Of course it is. Did it ever really go away?
Anyway, should perhaps move on to Question of the Week.
Oh, Question of the Week's an easy one. Actually, it's a really hard one, but the question itself is simple.
Yep.
Somebody brought up Clint the other day.
Yep.
And I was thinking about all those old guys who just could not get past all the quirkiness of anime.
Yep.
Right? He's such a whore about that.
Yeah, people that could not. Yeah, it happens, right? Anime's got its foibles, right? And I think if you've been watching it long enough, you don't even notice them most of the time. Exactly. But other people are like, "What the hell?
I had a hard
What's this nosebleed? What's this weirdness?"
I had a hard time even thinking them up. So anyway, what are some of your favorites? What are some of your least favorite weird anime? I don't even know what to call them.
Tropes.
They're not really tropes. I guess they are.
Kind of.
You know what I'm talking about.
Anime quirks.
Yeah. Things you do not
stuff
see
they do
in Western cartoons.
So
I'd like to start with girl crushes. All the girls have a crush on the one girl in class that is
better
better than everybody at everything else.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen here. And it certainly isn't in Western
No.
cartoons.
Oh God. I don't think it happens there either. I'm pretty sure girls of that age have a different opinion of the best, most perfect girl in class, and it's not very favorable.
It's true.
Guys do that too, so not even saying anything.
Nosebleeds is an
Nosebleeds.
Excellent one too.
I was gonna say Nosebleeds. I love. It's so stupid, but it's so funny. You
know what else I like? What is the name of those things? The shit in comic books that's sound effects. There's a word.
Oh, I do not know that word. I know exactly.
I literally know the word, but I cannot find it in my brain. But anyway,
Pow,
they
biff,
they
bam.
stick that stuff in random.
You see that manga a lot. Yeah, you don't.
No, but you see it in anime too.
You do not as much.
That and the vein on the head.
Unless you're watching JoJo's, then you see it a lot.
That's true.
Everything's menacing.
Everything is menacing.
Everything's menacing. It's very purple too.
That is their favorite.
What else? What do I dislike? Screechy characters. I don't like.
Yeah.
They have a tendency to have extremely annoyingly screechy characters.
Mm-hmm.
Over the top, bombastically screechy. Okay, calm down. That's a little much.
You need to dial it
And
back.
in certain contexts that can work, but they'll insert them in a random serious drama, and you're like, okay, calm the hell down. The random chibi cuts I like.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that.
Full Metal Alchemist did them all the time.
Remember in Dragon Half where she'd be regular size, chibi,
super chibi,
half chibi, super chibi. It was all over.
All over the place.
Frame to frame, it would change
definitely did
all
that
the
shit.
time. I'm
they definitely did that shit intentionally.
What are you even doing?
Hilarious.
That's why I love those weird
But
OVAs.
Chibi cuts. I appreciate that. I appreciate the chibi cuts. There's a lot of Japanese cultural stuff. I'm not really going to include that, the rivals, the senpai stuff.
Yes.
That's more cultural than it is anime. You know what I mean? Because you're going to get that even in a live action.
I love all that shonen shit. My rival.
Yeah.
I will defeat you.
Yeah.
They have that a little bit in Western stuff. To an extent, right?
Yeah, sure. But it's not as prevalent. It's not
No,
as like,
they go hard.
overemphasized. All right, what else?
I think that was all the ones I thought of.
The fact that sexy maids somehow still exist in society. I mean, that's cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah, the French maid outfit lives forever.
I appreciate that.
Fucking lollies. You ain't gonna see that shit over here.
No. Yeah, that's one that's just, what do you say? Like Japan, when you draw a girl with a body like she's 25 and super stacked, and then you claim she's like 12, that's just weird. Stop it. Let's just stop it.
Yeah, just keep it in cartoons.
Yeah, fair enough, but like that's just weird, man. It doesn't need to be that way. But they've always had different cultural ideas about age appropriateness for that stuff, so
It's true.
Fine. Even though they're whores the other way about like drinking and like, oh god, teenagers drinking.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird. Like
Forbidden.
you would never see like any kind of like every once in a while they'll have like a classic beach episode. Oh, that's what I forgot. I'll do it next week. The Sentai one.
Oh yeah, show.
It reminded me because there's a beach episode next week.
Beach episodes are good. So yeah, the beach episode, that's a good one. I like the beach episode, but it's weird because it'll pop out of the middle of nowhere. It's like a serious mecha show, and all of a sudden there's a freaking beach episode, and that's some people can't deal with that.
Fucking like every beach episode is good too.
Yeah, like what the hell is it, man? Best one is still Maz and Kaiser. Just like either it was Mazinger Z. It was in Maz and Kaiser. I just can't remember if it was Mazinger Z or Maz and Kaiser in the show. I think it might have been Maz and Kaiser, just pointing.
Yeah,
on the beach, just
pointing. Listen,
while they were at the beach.
only
Hilarious.
epic poses.
Only epic poses. Only shaking hands in front of Mount Fuji.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. I also like the sneezing when someone says something about you somewhere.
Yes,
That's an interesting one.
I don't know if that's a completely Japanese thing.
I don't know
I
if
feel
it
like
is.
that's like I've heard that other places.
Everyone's got something like my ears are burning or
Yeah.
my head's itching.
My head is itching.
Yeah, I don't know.
I couldn't think of a ton either.
I don't know that I have any more.
This was a quick question.
The thing is, if I actually watched. All right, calm down, biker. Jesus,
so loud.
some guy likes his pipes. Nothing against bikes, just some people were like,
Listen, I got the windows
What are you
open.
doing?
It was kind of warm today. Nothing I do about it.
well, I mean, you could shut the windows, but that's another problem. Anyway, yeah, I think if I actually sat down and watched something, I'd know it. You know what I mean? If I was looking for it, there's
instantly.
probably some more. But yeah, that's about all I got. About
Anyway.
that. It's an interesting question.
Moving on. Yeah, I was just thinking about like the differences between like G.I. Joe and any random anime. There's quite a few. Anyway, it's time for Riding Bean. It has
man.
arrived.
So, Riding Bean, right? So, a lot of people remember Gunsmith Cats. Well, maybe not anymore, but a lot of people had seen Gunsmith Cats. It was a manga. It was fairly popular.
Big in
Although
the
it was only like a
90s.
3-episode series and a manga that wasn't huge, but it was one of the things that was well known, in the U.S., right? Like Ghost in the Shell and some
It
other
was
stuff.
actually set in the U.S., so it was a little more accessible
Chicago.
back in the day.
So, in that, there's a character, Riding Bean. Well, apparently,
Bean Bandit, sir.
or Bean Bandit, sorry. He's Bean Bandit.
How dare you?
Yeah, whatever. The road. He's not the road warrior. He's like the road something. I can't remember. The Road Buster.
Yes, the Road
Buster. Yeah. The Ayatollah of rock and roll. Anyway, this is before that, right? So this is the prototype for it. It's not really a prequel. It's the prototype, right? So Gunsmith Cats had Riley Vincent, and it was a dark-haired girl. She's supposed to be half Indian. Had the Min May. I think her name's. It's not Min May. It's Minnie May or.
It's Minnie May, yeah.
Yeah, who's got like all the grenades and stuff. And then Riding Bean shows up every now and again. Bean Bandit, whatever.
Yeah.
Bean Bandit shows up every now and again and does work. Sometimes he's like a protagonist. Sometimes he's an antagonist. Like it depends on the thing. Right?
Yeah.
He's doing his own thing. This is like 45 minutes. It's about Bean Bandit. He's the main character. His partner in this is Riley Vincent, but she's a blonde girl in this one, so different. Not quite the same character, but same basic design otherwise. Still uses CZ75, like very similar. A lot of attention to detail on guns and cars, because
I think that's why it popped back in the day. Because it's like, every gun or car in the show is like drawn exactly like it is.
The GT500 that Percy's got,
Yeah.
and that Rally has in Gunsmith Cats. Like a lot of the stuff. My point is, this is like the prototype, and a lot of the stuff got reused for Gunsmith Cats, right? So this is like the prototype. Like Bean Bandit is the same guy. Like he's the same character. So he's not invincible, but he's got a bulletproof coat. He's way stronger than he should be. He could like break walnuts with his teeth. His car's got ridiculous shenanigans. Like he can turn the wheel sideways and drive sideways. It's bulletproof.
All four wheels are like articulated, so they can just go like sideways.
I don't know what Ferrari you can buy that's got that, but
I don't know.
So anyway, the plot. So,
it's
Bean Bandit.
It's basically an '80s action movie.
Yeah, it's basically an '80s action movie. Like it starts out with like a heist in a mall. It's in a mall, isn't it? It's like is it a bank?
I thought it was a bank.
It is a bank.
Oh no, it isn't a mall because this.
But it's like a bank in a mall. It's very strange. Anyway, there's apparently some nefarious peoples that are robbing this place, and they, Bean Bandit's the getaway driver. Very transporter in that regard, right?
Yes.
And then
that's kind of his whole game, really.
It turns out that there's something more sinister going on there. Like there's this whole kidnapping plot with this rich girl, and some of the people that were involved in this robbery are also involved in that. And it's just they basically got a plan to get all this money and then somehow pin it on Bean Bandit.
They're basically trying to set up Bean Bandit to take the fall.
Take the fall for it, right? So they can get out scot-free. And then you got Percy, the cop, who's obsessed. He's like the Zenigata. He's obsessed with Bean Bandit. And he's really Zenigata-like, which is why I bring him up.
Yeah, it's like same character.
And it just goes from there. Like Rally and Bean Bandit just have to stay alive, while they figure out what the hell's going on, and deal with the two nefarious. Well, it's three of them actually. Kidnappers, they're kidnappers, thieves, kidnappers, whatever, who are awful people. It's got some ultra violence. It's got some titties. It's got action galore. It's an 80s action movie, like you said. It's shorter. It has less filler stuff in it and a couple less action set pieces, but it's just an 80s action movie, 100%. Like if you like 80s action movies, you're going to like this. There's just no way you're not going to like it.
Yeah, no, it's like it's nonstop action the whole time.
Cool cars, cool guns, violence, titties. Like, come on. How can you go wrong?
The topless girl had tan lines. That's
all over the place.
That's how like insane for detail they were when they animated all
Japan
this stuff.
loves that too.
I love that.
I appreciate it too. Yeah, it's the animation's good. It's on the upper tier of.
Yeah, it's not blow your mind good, but it's excellent.
It's 1989. It looks more 90s than 80s. Like the colors are definitely brighter.
Yeah, it's probably digitally colored. It pops.
The animation is excellent. Let me see which studio did it. Oh, AIC and Artmic. Yeah, that makes sense.
Bean Bandit is such a hilarious character too.
He is a great character, right? Like he's not the good guy. He's a true, but he's not bad. He's not an asshole.
Nah.
He's not an anti-hero, but he's kind of an anti-hero. I don't know. He's a classic archetype. Like it just
He's
works.
like the Japanese version of an anti-hero, which is usually more of a dick than you would be able to get away with in like Western culture.
I don't think you're wrong. So I mean it's great. Now it was out here, in the US back in the day. Now they've done a Kickstarter and there's going to be a new Blu-ray edition coming out soon. So
I'm super stoked on.
There's a Japanese Blu-ray release they did, but they coded it at a lower bit rate than they're actually redoing it for the new release that they kickstarted at a higher bit rate. So it's going to be even a little bit nicer theoretically. I'm into it, man.
It's such an awesome little encapsulated movie. Like you don't have time to be bored. It's nothing complicated. It's just
the plot's simple. It's got enough little twists to make it interesting. It's got good characters. It's got good character design. It's got the awesome guns. It's got everything. Like it's just a great little OVA. Like I wish it was a full movie. I think my only complaint is it's not a full movie. Like an hour and a half or an hour and 20 minutes of this would have been perfect.
Yeah, after 45 minutes, I was like, man, I wish it just keep.
I wish it was longer, and not just padding. Like you could have put a couple, like I said, a couple more action set pieces.
You could have
in there.
said like you could have.
It would have been fine.
Like flushed that.
You could have fleshed it
out
for sure.
Quite a bit more.
So yeah, it's just really good. I don't know what else to say. You should watch it. You should watch it when the new version comes out. You should buy it. And,
I'll definitely pick it up. It's worth having, especially if they're doing like a new Blu-ray rip. Because it like looks really good.
This is really one of the best things. Like this is one of the best things we've watched, right? Run.
I mean, if you want just pure entertainment, it's like it's cash money.
I would rather
get any better.
I would rather rewatch this than Ghost in the Shell. I'm not saying it's better, but I'd rather rewatch this than Ghost in the Shell.
It's endless. It's got that 80s action movie rewatchability. Like,
it does.
It presses all the right buttons. Why he's crushing walnuts with his teeth, like in the middle of a car chase, I have no idea, and I don't really care because it's hilarious.
Show how tough he is. That's why.
He like gets shot in the head at one point, and his like bandana is bulletproof.
Of course it is.
So good.
Oh, when they're shooting through the window, and he's just like, he just pulls his coat up high enough, like the collar up high enough, so it blocks his face, and then you can see all the bullets are just stuck into the coat, and he just like flexes, and they all pop out. Like,
so ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's great. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes. There's not much to say. There's not much to pick apart here, man. It's just excellent and should be watched by everybody.
There's nothing where I'd be like, man, like
I wouldn't even hesitate. And most 40-minute things, we won't hesitate on and say, hey, it's 40 minutes. You might really like it, even if I don't, or nobody like.
My time's worth a lot.
Whatever.
But it's not worth that much.
But watch this. Make it a priority. Watch it yesterday.
Go back in time.
Invent a time machine. Go back in time and watch it. God damn it.
Anyway, that's about it.
It'll
be Friday again before you know it, so don't miss us too much.
Yeah, try not to. Don't cry too much.
See you next time.
Peace. Well, that's all for today, everyone. We'd like to thank all of you for tuning into another episode of the Gaijin Animation Appreciation Hour. Please remember to like and subscribe, and may your entertainment be always, well, entertaining.